Welcome back to Dimebag Darren. We're on the Omnivox channel, and I am reading to you my very favorite book, Isaac Asimov's Foundation. We were left on chapter 7 of the first part of our book. There's only one more part, and then we're on to a second part of our book. So let's not delay. Let's get right into what amounts to chapter 8, Issac here. Chapter 8. For a long while they sat silently, as the taxi whined through the hundreds of miles of worm-like tunnels towards the university. And then Gal stirred. He said, "Was what you told the commissioner true? Would your execution have hastened the fall?" Selden said, "I never lie about psychohistoric findings, nor would it have availed me in this case. Chen knew I spoke the truth. He's a very clever politician, and politicians by their very nature must have an instinctive feeling for the truths of psychohistory." "Then need you have accepted exile?" Gal wondered, but Selden did not answer. When they burst upon the university grounds, Gal's muscles took action of their own, or rather, inaction. He had to be carried almost out of the taxi. All the university was a blaze of light. Gal had almost forgotten that the sun could exist. Nor was the university in the open. Its buildings were covered by a monstrous dome of glass and yet not glass. It was polarized so Gal could look directly upon the blazing star above, yet its light was undimmed, and it glanced off the metal buildings as far as the eye could see. The university structures themselves lacked the hard steel gray of the rest of Trantor. They were silvery, rather. Their metallic luster was almost ivory in color. Selden said, "Soldiers, it seems." "What?" Gal brought his eyes to the prosaic ground and found a sentinel ahead of them. They stopped before him, and a soft-spoken captain materialized from a nearby doorway. He said, "Dr. Selden?" "Yes." "We've been waiting for you. You and your men will be under martial law henceforth. I've been instructed to inform you that 6 months will be allowed for your preparations to leave Terminus." "6 months?" began Gal, but Selden's fingers were upon his elbow with gentle pressure. "These are my instructions," repeated the captain. He was gone, and Gal turned towards Selden. "Why, what can be done in 6 months? This is but a slower murder." Quietly, "Let's reach my office." It was not a large office, but it was quite spy-proof, and quite undetectably so. Spy beams trained upon it received neither a suspicious silence nor an even more suspicious static. They received rather a conversation constructed at random out of a vast stock of innocuous phrases in various tones and voices. "Now," said Selden at his ease, 6 months will be enough." "I don't see how." "Because, my boy, in a plan such as ours, the actions of others are bent to our needs. Have I not said to you already that Shen's temperamental makeup had been subjected to greater scrutiny than any other single man in history? The trial was not allowed to begin until the time and circumstances were right for the ending of our choosing." "But you could have arranged to be exiled to Terminus? Why not?" He put his fingers on a certain spot on his desk, and a small section of the wall behind him slid aside. Only his own fingers could have done so, since only his particular print pattern would have activated the scanner beneath. "You will find several microfilms inside. Take the one marked with the letter T." Gal did so and waited while Selden fixed it within the projector and handed the young man a pair of eyeglasses. Gal adjusted them and watched the film unroll before his eyes. He said, "But then," Selden says, "what surprises you? Have you been prepared to leave for 2 years? 2.5. Of course, we could not be certain that it would be Terminus that would be chosen, but we hoped it might be, and we acted upon that assumption." "But why, Dr. Selden? If you arranged the exile, why? Could not the events be far more controlled here on Trantor?" "Why? There are some reasons. Working on Terminus, we will have Imperial support without ever rousing fears that we would endanger Imperial safety." Gal said, "But you aroused those fears only to force exile. I don't understand." 20,000 families would not travel to the end of the galaxy of their own will, perhaps. "But why should they be forced there?" Gal paused. "May I not know?" Selden said, "Not yet. It's enough for the moment that you know that a scientific refuge will be established on Terminus, and another will be established at the other end of the galaxy, let us say, at Star's End. As for the rest, I will die soon, and you will see more than I. No, spare me your shock and good wishes. My doctors tell me that I cannot live longer than a year or two, but then I've accomplished in life what I intended, and under what circumstances may one better die?" "And after you die, sir?" "Why, there will be successors, perhaps even yourself, and the successors will be able to apply the final touch in the scheme and instigate the revolt on Anacreon at the right time and in the right manner. Thereafter events may roll unheeded." "I do not understand." "You will." Selden's lined face grew peaceful and tired both at once. "Most will leave for Terminus, but some will stay. It will be easy to arrange, but as for me," he concluded in a whisper, so that Gal could scarcely hear him, "I'm finished." And thus ends Chapter 8 of the first part of Isaac Asimov's book, Foundation. When we come back, we'll be starting on the very first part of the second part of the book, or book 2, called The Encyclopedists. So far, we're reading Foundation, and we've covered the Psychohistorians. Please join us again as we embark into Chapter 1 of Book 2 of Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, The Encyclopedists, the next time we're together. From Dimebag Darren World Headquarters, here in the corner of my living room, thanks for coming. See you again soon. Bye for now.